Hey, it's Michael Gilbert. Thanks for watching MotoAmerica on YouTube. Be sure to comment and subscribe.
We're thundering toward the MotoAmerica AMA-FIM North American Road Race Championship, our second round of 2022 here at the MotoAmerica Superbikes at Atlanta from Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta in Braselton, Georgia. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Craig White, standing alongside two-time national champion Jason Pridmore. And, Jason, it's been a little while, but we've already had a race in King of the Baggers at Daytona.
Yeah, we did, and it was really interesting down there. We saw a lot of drafting, and we saw that rivalry between Indian and Harley-Davidson come back.
Well, let's get you refreshed on what happened at Daytona as we take a look at race 1 and 2. Jay, take us through it.
Tyler O'Hara had to start from the back of the grid in race 1, but you can see he made quick work of most of the field as he started to get his way to the front. He was able to get all the way up there and draft past the Harley-Davidson and Kyle Wyman, with Travis Wyman taking second on this day. But for Tyler O'Hara, it was a win from the back. In the second race, Greg, we had a bigger battle at the front. As you can see, Bobby Fong is involved in this one, but it would be former MotoGP rider Jeremy McWilliams coming over from overseas and winning the second race for Indian there.
Massively popular across Europe when McWilliams started to tweet about his victory at Daytona. But here is a look at the current point standings as we head off into race number 3 of the season. It's Tyler O'Hara ahead of Jeremy McWilliams and the 2 podiums. And so what we don't have, of course, is the number 1 plate. But let's get down to Hannah, who has a very special guest to talk to from King of the Baggers.
Tyler O'Hara is our current Mission King of the Baggers points leader heading into this weekend. Tyler, you also won here last year. With those things in mind, how does that inspire confidence heading into the race?
You know, we had a good weekend at Daytona, and my teammate had a good weekend as well, which took some points away from our opposition, which was great. And we learned a lot. And coming back to this track from last year, it's a whole new ball of wax. With just we're on slick tires this year. We got a whole new bike set up, and I'm just looking forward to the race. I'm just going to chip away at it and just have some fun. And yeah, just look forward to a good race.
Best of luck out there.
Thank you.
Jason, let's take a look at the track map here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. 2.55 miles of roller coaster.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice long run down to turn 1 up the hill for the first time. You got to watch yourself when you get to that 2, 3, 4. Very technical area and very narrow. Down through those famous S's into turn 6. 7 leads you onto the back straightaway into the spot where we're going to see a lot of hard braking down into turn 10, getting these bikes slowed down. Up over the hill under the bridge, down to turn 12, final corner to make that pass, Greg, and then you got that short run to the checkered flag.
This track lends itself to a lot of drafting and passing. Yesterday, it was the number 50 Bobby Fong who won the Mission King of the Baggers 3-lap challenge. He'll be starting from pole. More on that when we come back.
Robbie Floyd and Roger Hayden here with you. We get to do our little interjections between the big boy show next door. Glad you could be a part of it. I don't know who to pick in this one because we saw the challenge race. Those were the top 6 qualifiers. Bobby Fong is probably my favorite, the 50. I know he hasn't had that win other than the challenge, but I mean, Bobby, that bike was fast yesterday, but he was aggressive, and I think that's what we always see out of Bobby Fong.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely starting to figure out this bagger, not having a lot of time on it, but also you have to look at Kyle Wyman. He's dominated every session this weekend, so I think he's still the guy to beat, the number 1 plate.
Trying to look at the qualifying standings. Usually they put our time to scoring up there the way they will line up. But no question, a lot of riders will be looking for the number 1. There he is on the far left. Kyle Wyman, the defending champ. Can he defend here at Atlanta?
Mission King of the Baggers coverage is sponsored by Mission Foods, the world's leading brand for tortillas and wraps. By Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series. And by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car or motorcycle insurance.
Back at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, so that means it's time to get right down to Hannah Lopa. Hannah, what's going on?
Greg, the HD Screaming Eagle team has been hard at work since Daytona to prepare these bikes for this round, and it is evident in the lap times that Travis and Kyle Wyman have been doing all weekend. Kyle has led every session with the exception of a small tip over during the Mission Challenge. As a result, he will be starting from P6 on the grid. Starting from the first spot on the grid, however, is none other than Bobby Fong. With more, here's Roland Sands.
Hey guys, how you doing? Bobby Fong pulled it out yesterday, pulled out all the stops in the Mission Foods Challenge, and you can see what a racer Bobby Fong is. You know, it's tough when you're a little bit behind all weekend, and Kyle's been really putting in solid lap times, but I think when it comes to the race, we're going to see what Bobby Fong can pull out again today.
Yeah, Bobby Fong, was able to win that challenge yesterday, and not only did it get him $5,000, Jason, and he gets to sit on pole position, but he also won himself a nice Wilbur watch.
Yeah, we saw Chuck Asklin present him with that, Greg, right here before the start of this warm-up lap. So, yeah, 5 large and a watch. He's doing all right.
Yeah, it looks just like the one Roger Hayden has on his wrist. Let's get to the starting grid, Jason, as Bobby Fong is on pole. James Rispoli, who finished second in that race, in second place. Travis Wyman third.
Yep, then we got Taylor Knapp, Tyler O'Hara, and Kyle Wyman. A little further back, Jeremy McWilliams, Daytona winner, Corey West, Frankie Garcia, Andrew Lee, Hawk Mazada, Scott Beal, Zach Nation, Eric Stahl, Robert Johnson, and Brian Shields are rounding out this field. You know, we saw Bobby struggle a little bit in that first race at Daytona, and you can tell just he's starting to adapt himself to this bike. And yesterday, making that last lap pass on Rispoli for 5,000, coming to the flag was a good little bonus for him.
So our third race of the 2022 season for Mission King of the Baggers. Tyler O'Hara won the first race in Daytona. Jeremy McWilliams the second race. There's 7 points that separate those two in this championship. So we're going to see what Bobby Fong has in store for the rest of this field.
Let's see if Tyler O'Hara and Kyle Wyman can get off the line well.
Lights are off. We're rolling. King of the Baggers here for Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Heads down behind the bubbles. Rispoli looking for some room on the 43, and Bobby Fong is going to lead us up the hill towards turn number 2.
Yeah, James Rispoli gets himself into second. I'm trying to see if that's Kyle that has got himself into fourth already from that second row. Be a good start for the number 1. He's actually got himself into third, Greg. So from the second row, Kyle Wyman makes a tremendous start. He's going to be right on the back of these two guys as they head down through these very famous Road Atlanta S's. Looking to see if that's Tyler O'Hara there in fourth as well. So both those guys came from the second row. And let's not forget, Jeremy McWilliams, who won at Daytona, was coming from that third row. So he had to come a little further back. But we see a break already with these three at the front.
First lap of Mission King of the Baggers. And a little bit of a break. Onto the back straightaway we go. And we're going to see how evenly these motorcycles are matched. Here comes the number 50. Bobby Fong out of Stockton, California on that Roland Sands Designs Indian Challenger. Rispoli on a Harley Davidson, as well as the number 1 factory HD Screaming Eagle Road Glide of Kyle Wyman.
Yeah, and as they come down and break hard into turn 10 early here, we're going to see that the 4th place rider O'Hara looks like he's bridged that gap. Surprising to see not that much drafting going on. You got to imagine the hole that these bikes are poking through the wind, Greg, as they go down that back straightaway. But the 3 guys at the front are slowly there getting caught by the bike in 4th. Kyle Wyman, who has been fast all weekend, as Rispoli looks to go down the inside of Bobby Fong, and he makes that pass down into turn 1.
Look at Hog Spoli go, but Fong's trying to turn it up the inside. Not enough room. All the while, Wyman's getting a good taste of how close this racing is.
Yeah, and these bikes through this little area right here, it's got to be so physical. Talking to a few of the riders, Greg, they always say to me, Jason, you'd be surprised how well they handle. And it just goes to show the amount of development and stuff that they've been putting into these motorcycles. Kyle, for one, has told me, Bobby Fong goes down, turn 5.
Turn 5 has caused a lot of people to crash out here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta this weekend, and Bobby Fong, another victim. So Fong down and out of this race in a great position for another win.
Now let's just look back there and see, Greg, it almost looked like the bag touched on the curbing and just took the weight off those tires. It didn't look like I saw the front really tuck, you know?
No, it looked like Bobby was a little bit wider than some people. Like, they take a little bit closer angle, and that gets the bag out onto the top of the curbing. But that might have been it.
Now we got this battle at the front between Rispoli, Kyle Wyman, and as you can see, Tyler O'Hara chipping away at these two guys at the front. He is going to have seen Bobby Fong go down. And yesterday, Rispoli ended up second in that dash. Kyle actually had tipped off. So Rispoli leading this race again.
James, after After talking to James Rispoli, excuse me, he said every time he gets on the bike, it's more comfortable and more reliable. Having more time allows him to really trust that motorcycle more. He was really hoping to be able to break away from those Indians because he said, you know, the Harleys have their strengths and the Indians have their strengths, but either way, he knows it's going to be a scrap to the finish.
So James Rispoli on that Vance and Hines Racing Road Glide. Development with Vance and Hines on this motorcycle. Rispoli nearly loses at JP.
Same place. I think that the bags actually hit there. Looking at these guys, they've got to respect the fact that the bags can actually touch the curbing, as Kyle Wyman got that run over turn 5 after that small mistake. He slides himself up underneath Rispoli into turn 6. These two guys actually have created a little bit of a gap as they've got almost half a second on Tyler O'Hara in that first split. So Tyler may have made a mistake somewhere. You can see he's dropped back. But these two guys, both on Harley Davidsons, don't want to mess around with each other too much. Otherwise, it'll continue to let Tyler have hope that he can get back up to the front with them.
Privateer Vance and Hines bike against the HD Screaming Eagle factory bike, and it looks like pretty evenly matched as Kyle's trying to get the thing comfortably sideways. There's a part of a bag, I think, in the gravel trap, Jason.
You know what's funny is just looking at that, you know, when Rispoli says, yeah, I can see that when Rispoli says that the Harleys are good in some spots, the Indian's good in others. The Indian has shown a tremendous amount of top speed. So that first sector, Greg, that we saw the two leaders pull away from O'Hara, he gained almost half a second back in the second sector, and that's just pretty much from the exit of 5 to the back straightaway, middle of back straightaway.
Jason, incredible. Onto the front straightaway came Rispoli. Absolutely sent the bike sideways. Rispoli, of course, a dirt track national champion, an American flat track, is definitely comfortable taking left-hand corners, but also a road race champion in his own right 2 times over.
Yeah, and you look here, this is where we've seen some of the problems, and both these guys get through there nice and clean, and there's that gap again that they've, trying, is that just dust?
That was Kyle.
Okay. Kyle.
I think Kyle ran a little bit wide on the exit. Yep.
So these guys are both, they both pull a big gap on that first sector, and then O'Hara has to hustle to make it back before start-finish line. About 4.5 laps to go now. See if Rispoli can get in this draft. Kyle looks over his shoulder, probably relieved to not see a big Indian right behind him.
620 pounds minimum, the requirement. So each of these motorcycles is going to be 620 or over. Rustling around compared to, say, a superbike, which is under 370 pounds. So quite difference in terms of the weight, but incredible development gone on over the years with HC Screaming Eagle. And of course, the rider in third place, Tyler O'Hara, who was our first winner of King of the Baggers a couple of years ago on the Mission Foods SNS Cycles Indian Challenger team. So that factory Indian effort, incredible development gone into from both manufacturers,
Absolutely.
Harley Davidson and Indian in this class.
Yeah, and that's what you have when you have a rivalry, isn't it? I mean, they've been rivals for how many years now? And what's fun is that for the King of the Baggers, it's renewed that rivalry again, and both of these teams and manufacturers are putting a ton of money and a ton of progression into getting these bikes on the track and getting them going as fast as they are. Last time through, Greg, 2 laps ago, 31.7 for Kyle Wyman. And just to put that in perspective, a number of our top super sport teams are right around the minute 30s. So you look at these things and they're a second off.
Yeah, considering how much more they weigh than a super sport machine, it is absolutely impressive, especially getting big drives onto the back straightaway.
You can see Jeremy McWilliams there in 4th. Then we got this battle for 5th between Taylor Knapp, who's Rispoli's teammate, and Travis Wyman, who is obviously his brother Kyle's teammate too. And let's see what's gone on. Oh, they're actually getting into some lap traffic right now.
Yeah, that's the lap traffic waving people by on the back straightaway. So Kyle Wyman just set the fastest Sector 1 time late in this race. Had a good clock in Sector 2, but not quite as great as he wanted. So Wyman looked like he was on his way to another best lap race. He has the fastest lap of this race at a 1:31.789 on lap number 3. That, by the way, that averages, that 1:31.7 averages around Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta 100 miles per hour.
I think the other thing that's really important right now, Greg, is these guys don't do as many races as our other riders in the other series. So they had Daytona. They have only got 5 rounds, I believe. So, and they don't do double rounds. So the points right now having somebody between Kyle and Tyler O'Hara, who was the points leader coming in, is pretty key. It's going to be, what is that, a 10 or 11 point differential between first and third. So you can see now these two guys at the front have opened up a pretty big gap over Tyler O'Hara. So these two guys are going to try to settle this between the two of them. O'Hara right now isn't really in the mix with 2.5 to go. And you can see Jeremy McWilliams is just kind of trying to bridge that gap to his teammate as well.
You know, Jason, looking at Rispoli and that Vance and Hines bike, it seems like they've made quite a big jump in speed from Daytona, because on the high banks, Rispoli's was getting killed on the banking and making it all up through the infield. Now it looks like he's relatively evenly matched.
Yes,
so
a little closer, huh?
Yeah, definitely closer. So obviously the Vance and Hines team continues to develop on the direction that they go on their road glides.
I think the question here for me is, I'm wondering what's going on with Travis, if he's had a problem or something, as Rispoli gets that bike really backed in to the bottom of the hill there, turn 10. Now they're going to come up over the top of the hill. Rispoli had fallen just about 6/10 behind on the last lap. We're going to see now if he's able to bridge that gap. You can see Wyman getting the bike. I mean, the bikes actually look fairly agile for as big and heavy as they are.
Yes.
You see these guys being able to do a lot of really cool things on them still.
And the other thing is, too, is that it looks like Kyle's throttle hand is really well connected to the rear tire, just like Rispoli, and that they are comfortable getting that slide and helping that motorcycle turn, especially as these Dunlop tires get to the point where it allows them to steer the motorcycle with the rear.
Yep. Let's not forget, too, that Kyle's doing double duty this weekend. He'll be riding in our Superbike class a little bit later on. Got called up from that from PJ Jacobson, and O'Hara the same. He's doing the Hooligans. So both those guys are getting to run 2 classes a weekend. This guy here, the only time he's seeing the track right now for Rispoli is during baggers. Now that gap has gone up to 7/10, but it even looks a little bigger, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's up to 1 second. So Kyle starting to eke away from Rispoli. It's been going on for the last couple of sectors. So last time by the stripe, it was only a 1/10 of a second between Wyman and Rispoli, but now Rispoli, he's doing everything he can as Wyman grabbing a handful of throttle, shifting through the gears on the back straightaway to reach a top speed of somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 miles per hour.
It's pretty impressive, you know, when you think about it again. It's the, you know, some of the other classes that we're going, we're seeing speeds on Superbike at 180. Top Supersport bikes are right around 160, and these guys are generally about 2 seconds off. So you can see 157 there for O'Hara, 162 for Jeremy McWilliams.
Kyle Wyman coming to the white flag, so there's going to be 1 lap to go for the #1 plate. After falling off in the 3-race Dash for Cash yesterday in a huge disappointment, Kyle Wyman has it all in his hands again to start his winning ways and to start chipping away at this championship. You know, in terms of the championship, Jay, because you mentioned it, there aren't a ton of races in this series. He needs Rispoli to finish this race, really, to keep that gap, that 25 down to 16 to Tyler O'Hara, who's leading this championship coming into this over his teammate McWilliams by 7 points.
Yeah, that's a big 11 points. And, you know, we're going to go to some other tracks again. I mean, the big rivalry will be there at Road America with Harley Davidson just down the road in Milwaukee.
Their backyard, yep.
Absolutely. And these guys are going to be ready. Harley's going to be ready. But from what we have seen, Greg, it looks like the Indians got a little bit of pace over the Harley Davidsons, and with the straightaways that we have there, you know, we'll have to see if Harley can bridge that gap again as they get into more back markers.
So looking at it, Jay, Kyle Wyman, Rispoli, Tyler O'Hara, and Jeremy McWilliams have been pushing their own air, and by far McWilliams at a 162.5 on the back straightaway compared to Kyle's 150. So that speed deficit, yeah. So a place like Road America, that could be a concern as Harley Davidson looks forward. Last time into turn 10A, 10B for Kyle Wyman and Rispoli. Rispoli still pushing hard. One of his favorite corners on this racetrack because it's a dirt track corner. Into the final corner we go, down the hill for Kyle Wyman. Flying that Harley Davidson #1 plate from the 1970s. Here he goes, your national champion will come across the line and win here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. In second comes Rispoli, and then Tyler O'Hara with Jeremy McWilliams behind him. Taylor Knapp in 5th.
Travis Wyman's going to come across 6th. We're waiting for Corey West now. But for Kyle, it's a nice little bounce back from Daytona and the stuff that he had to deal with down there. You can see it's going to mean a lot. Again, Greg, it's pretty impressive how much these manufacturers are putting into this championship.
Yeah, that's a big win for The HD Screaming Eagle team. And look at the lap progression for Kyle, Jason.
Yeah, 31.7, 31.9 there on lap 4, but generally living right in those low 32s. So he was able to stay consistently and get up front and run his own race.
All right, we'll be back to talk to Kyle Wyman about how it went after this.
For all the fans out there, make sure you visit the official MotoAmerica merchandise trailer in the fan zone. They have everything you need, including shirts, hats, jackets, hoodies, masks, hand sanitizer, including Mission King of the Bagger apparel. Roger, did you get you any Mission King of the Bagger apparel yet?
No, but I got some of the Mission chips, though.
Oh, they are delicious.
They are good.
So good. So good. I don't know if they make them fresh just for each event, but they are very crispy. Get those Mission tortilla chips, but also check out the apparel. Hey, Geico Insurance, whether it's 2 strokes, 4 strokes, for savings, get Geico for your motorcycle and ATV insurance. See how much money you can save on the insurance for your street bike, dirt bike, ATV, UTV, and more. Roger, how about it? The insurance, you have made any claims lately?
No, well, fortunately, no, I haven't made any claims.
Good. I know you're driving back home to Kentucky tonight, so if you have any deals, Geico's, you're good to go. And Mission Foods, we talked about those chips. Mission Foods, the world's leading brand of tortilla and wraps, welcomes you to the Superbikes at Atlanta and Mission King of the Baggers Racing, which you just saw. Mission Foods focuses on the highest quality, authentic flavors, and providing healthy options that families and friends can enjoy together. And I saw those bags of chips, and we have them up here, little shapes of motorcycles, really cool. And Harley Davidson, in 1903, out of a small shed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 4 young men lit a cultural wildfire that would grow and spread across geographies and generations. Be like Kyle Wyman right there on his Harley Davidson. Their innovation and imagination for what was possible on 2 wheels sparked a transportation revolution and lifestyle that will make Harley Davidson the most desirable motorcycle brand in the world. There's a man with a Harley shirt. Stop by the Harley Davidson display in the fan zone today. Fans clapping out there. They got to see a good one. And all these guys running Dunlop tires. Make sure you log on to DunlopMotorcycleTires.com to learn more. But they've got those SportMax Q3. They have the SportMax Q4. A little bigger step in performance. Lap times maximum feel again. Dunlop tires. Kyle, you don't have to get in the tuck now. Happy about that victory. This year did not start out the way he wanted, but again, trying to defend that title and keep that #1 plate. Stop by the Indian Motorcycle Display today for a free demo ride in the fan area. Indian Motorcycle Company, America's first motorcycle company, founded in 1901. Indian Motorcycle has won the hearts of motorcyclists around the world and earned distinction as one of America's most legendary and iconic brands through unrivaled racing dominance, engineering prowess, countless innovations, and industry first. Indian finishing on the podium today with Tyler O'Hara, just behind James Rispoli and Kyle Wyman. And if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, you need to go down to the fan zone, talk to Chuck. That's Chuck Watwood at lawbike.com to get the attention you deserve. That's 1-866-LAWBIKE, or go to lawbike.com for more. Listen to the guys next door.
Mission King of the Baggers coverage is sponsored by Mission Foods, the world's leading brand for tortillas and wraps. By Drag Specialties, an industry-leading distributor of aftermarket parts and accessories for Harley-Davidson and custom V-twin motorcycles. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
Kyle Wyman coming into victory circle. I think, Jason, he's happy.
Seems like he's happy.
Yeah,
about
a little excited.
Yeah.
1.8 seconds, the margin of victory over Rispoli. So Harley Davidson 1-2 on the box. Tyler O'Hara in front of his teammate Jeremy McWilliams. Let's get right down to Hannah.
After a DNF at Daytona, Kyle Wyman and the HD Screaming Eagle team feeling some disappointment. This win's got to feel kind of like vindication today. From 6th place on the grid, tell me how you made your way to the front of the pack.
Well, it definitely feels good. It's been 9 months since we won on this thing, so that's a long time to wait. And man, I'm just so happy to do it for all these guys up here from Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle. They deserve it so much. These guys have busted their ass day and night since Daytona to get us here, and I'm so proud of this motorcycle, so I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to Kyle Wyman, today's King of the Baggers winner.
All right, so the three-quarter-year drought is over for Kyle Wyman. We'll have more on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Here's a look at the points. Tyler O'Hara has 10 over his teammate, but the big news is Kyle Wyman jumping up to third with his brother Travis. And Jason, that is good things coming for this series. A couple races left, so Kyle Wyman's going to be happy to see that. So with Tyler O'Hara 61 points, the next stop for us is going to be an exciting one. Long races down a long, big back straightaway. Well, that was an exciting race. Congratulations to Kyle Wyman. His three-quarter-year drought is over, and he's back on top of the box. Well, that'll do it for us. For Hannah, Roland, and Jason, I'm Greg. We'll see you next time for Mission King of the Baggers.